It's the Poker News Podcast.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 876th episode of the Poker News Podcast. I am Chad Holloway, joined by Kyna England and Mike Holtz. We have a fun episode today. We're teasing it right now. We have a big giveaway at the end of the episode, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Mike, Kyna, right off the top, we got to talk about what the hell is going on with the WPT. It's twofold. First thing we're going to start with is earlier this week, there were some big layoffs. 8 different people from the digital team. Lance Bradley, who is the head of that digital team, tweeted out with a nice thread that they're parting ways with the WPT. And then he went on to extol the virtues of the folks that were on his team, Tim Fioravanti, Jeff Walsh, among others. A lot of these guys are people I've worked with who have been around the industry for a long time. And it was pretty shocking to myself, and I think the industry. Did you guys see, like on social media, this being talked about at all?
Yeah, I saw the thread with Lance and him, just saying nice things about his team and people saying, oh, sad to see you go. It feels like, I don't know what's going on, but it feels like, corporate restructuring. I mean, that kind of stuff happens. I used to work in the corporate world, and there's ways to fire people, legally, and that means restructure, reorg, trying to mix it up. I don't know. Seems like they might be changing direction a little bit, maybe focusing a little bit more on the online stuff. But yeah, I don't know. Guess we'll have to wait and see, right?
I get the whole aspect of corporate restructuring. It's a business. Fine with that. I get that. But here's the thing. For years, the WPT has extolled the WPT family aspect of things. Sure, it's usually the on-camera faces that we see, the Vince Van Patten, Lynn Gilmartin, Tony Dunst, Adam Pliska. But you have these guys who are working behind the scenes to make the WPT what it is, right? We talked a lot about it at the end of last year with the WPT World Championship and the year before that. Like, these are the guys, these are the hamsters, so to speak, that are spinning that wheel, right? Mm-hmm. Getting the word out about it. I want to actually just highlight real quick. So Lance actually gave me my first kind of break in the industry back in 2009 World Series of Poker. I interned with Bluff Magazine, and he was the editor of that magazine. So I worked my first ever big poker gig under Lance. He's been around for a very long time, since 2006. He's really been at the top of the game, one of the best journalists in the industry. Jeff Walsh has been around equally as long, started for a writer with Bluff and just has some great pieces. And Tim Fioravanti, kind of same thing. He's been around for a long time, left the industry for a little bit to go work for ESPN, and then returned for this WPT gig. And then there were some other folks that were even more behind the scenes. Easton Orman was a guy I worked closely with, Eric Lush as well, Evan McCall, I don't want to miss anybody, Raul Silva, and Scott Pesic. I didn't really know those guys, but there are 8 in total. And I don't know, that's kind of just what doesn't sit right with me. I was told this is fairly unexpected, and the word I heard was unjustified. I don't know the details. It's really speculation on my part. But man, this was, I think, just a gut punch. Mike, what did you make of all this?
Yeah, so I mean, I saw the tweets from Lance, and I've read all of them and saw some of the comments. For me, I don't know anything about the situation or was it justified? Was it unjustified? I don't want to comment on something I don't really know enough about, you know what I mean? Like,
it's just like speculating. I mean, we don't know, like nobody, it's not like they've made it public. It's just, mass fire a lot of people. It can be really surprising and really scary and unexpected, and change is inevitable. And I feel for those people, and hopefully, they can find bigger and better things to do and, move forward in their careers.
Yeah. I mean, I'm almost always going to be on the side of the anti-corporation. Yeah. Like I'm really a fan of the workers' rights, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know though. I've always had pretty good stuff with WPT, but these guys, I've met several of them. They're all great guys. So I don't know. I need to have more details to really say, but it's really an unfortunate situation, no matter what the case is. Especially if it's unexpected. That part, if it's unjustified and unexpected, then that's really not great. You know what I mean?
All right. So here's one of the reasons I think it might be a bit unjustified. Maybe it is from a business perspective, but from a work ethic, from a reputational standpoint, here's why I think it's at least ill-timed or a poor decision. So we're nominated for a Global Poker Award for Podcast of the Year, which is great. We're going to be at the Global Poker Awards. I went through and looked about the WPT, how many nominations they have this year, and there's 6 of them. 6 nominations at the Global Poker Awards, most of them either directly connected or tangentially connected to the digital team. So they're nominated for Best Event for the $5 million free roll. You had the digital team going out there telling the stories and, the social media involved with that. They had the Best Mid-Major for WPT Prime. They have the Best Written Content. Lance Bradley, he's already a 4-time Global Poker Award winner, and he's nominated this year for his piece on John Bird, cancer guy who won a Golden Passport. Best Photo, that photo with a $2 million draw from Rachel K. Winter. Best Reporters, Mickey Doft and BJ Nemeth. They're both WPT reporters. And then Best Trophy. So, the digital team's not responsible for all those, but they're connected to all those somehow. And just to go, even if you look back last year, not to get too much in the weeds, but last year they won 4 Global Poker Awards. The WPT did. They got Best Industry Person, Adam Pliska. They got Best Mid-Major with the WPT Prime, Best Final Table Performance, Dan Sepio, and Best Written Media, which is directly in this department. Best Written Media, David Hill for The Tales of Billy Baxter, which Lance Bradley brought him in directly to do. So my point being is this: you have this team, one of the best assembled in the poker industry, clearly award-winning team, and somebody behind the scenes, who knows what it was, said, you know what? Let's get rid of them. I don't know. Again, maybe it makes business decision, but it just seems like a poor decision. And with the whole WPT family aspect of it, it makes me wonder, what the hell is the WPT doing? So yeah, that's my 2 cents on it. I know I'm a little closer because I know these guys more than you do. So
yeah, and it's tough to see. It's tough to see restructure, reorg, change. I think I don't know how many of those guys directly relate to what I've seen come out of the digital media. I really like the videos that they produce about events, like when they have the videographers on the floor, and then the videos that come out of that, highlighting the players, highlighting the event. I think those are all done really well, and I don't know if that's what that team is responsible for, but I don't know. Who knows? Maybe they have plans to. I don't even know. I was thinking maybe it's just a lot of people to all of a sudden let go of, right? A lot of people to replace. You would think you would see a few people stick around and reorg or be assigned to new teams, usually in corporate environment. But I guess we'll have to find out with everyone else. I don't know.
Yeah, and if anybody out there who works in the poker world is looking for good people, any one of those individuals would make a great addition to a team. And, I'm wishing them the best and hopefully see some of them soon. And yeah, I don't know what the WPT is going to do now in that regard. There goes their articles, their social media. Maybe they're going to turn to AI. Yeah. Who knows? But it's a shame to see 8 people on a very strong team, back in the unemployment line, so to speak. So.
Sure, yeah.
All right, let's switch gears to another WPT topic. This one a little more lighthearted and actually kind of fun, depending on what side you're on. And I'm going to ask you, so the WPT Global Twitter account, it is pretty spicy. It always has been. Most recently, just a couple days ago, somebody asked how they can get a second account on it. And the official Twitter response from Club WPT Gold was, please contact @JustinBonimal or @JunglemanDan for a second account. Multi-accounting, right? Mike, I know you saw this because I saw you responded to it.
Yeah, I thought it was hysterical. Yep, really funny stuff and pretty cool of a major poker organization to actually, respond and talk to their customers, unlike, some other competitors.
I think that is funny too. It's like knowing how do you not know that having 2 accounts is against the rules? I feel like that's come up before too. Online, I've seen people post stuff about that, and it's you should know, man.
Well, I'm pretty sure it's a recreational ask or something like that.
It's still though,
what a dick. What an asshole that guy. Yeah, let's go after him.
I think the issue with this particular case is, so WPT Gold launched a beta testing, but it was only available to people who use their ambassador codes, right? Mm. And so, for instance, if you use Matt Savage's or Jamie Kerstetter's like I did, you might not gain access to it. So a lot of these people were, thinking, okay, I don't have access to it. How can I get access to it? And there's just some confusion about that. It's basically just a test. They're ironing out some of the wrinkles. But I think people got confused and wanted to start another account to try to get in.
Wait. So if you used Jamie's code you couldn't play?
No, only certain ambassador codes would let you like play in the beta testing version.
Oh, that's really dumb.
Yeah, I
like
don't
really dumb
know.
actually. But maybe it's maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just a they want to test the server side how many things it can handle. It's like an alpha, yada yada. So I don't know. I'm very optimistic about this. I really hope that they're taking things seriously, and I hope that I wish them all the success in the world with this because it's my income. I'd like to make primarily my primary income on that website. So that would be sick if you made it cool. I would like that.
There's some other fun tweets. This one was back during the WPT World Championship. Alan Kessler, of course, complaining about a skipped level in a free roll, and the Twitter account responded, "We'll be happy to issue a refund, Alan," which I thought was pretty funny. I know who's running this. I don't know if it's public knowledge out there, so I won't say, but I know the individual who is. What's that?
I'll tell you after.
Just tell me right now.
No, we'll tell you after. We can't wait like 40 minutes?
No, because I want to. Okay, fine. That sucks.
I'll just say that he's seriously good at his job.
This is like last week when you were like, I'm not going to say who it is, but there's a book that tells you exactly who it is, and this is the book. Boom.
You just got to look. You got to do a little digging.
Okay, so my boy's getting really serious on shit. Okay, I feel that.
There was one I appreciated. You see the Miami Dolphins stuff behind me. There was a tweet after the Buffalo Bills lost to the Kansas City Chiefs last weekend. Super Bowl bubble boy with a picture of a crestfallen Josh Allen, which, I mean, it's not really poker related except for the bubble boy shout out. But
no,
I thought that was pretty good.
I think that one's super corny. I actually really don't like that one.
No, you say you stick to poker?
No, I don't. I don't know. Josh Allen seems like a nice guy. I feel bad for him. Like, I don't know. We don't have to push him all down, you know.
Yeah, I guess I get that.
Everybody wanted to see Lions-Bills Super Bowl. Like,
Lions-Bills.
Nobody wants to. I don't even want to watch it. Didn't we watch
Everyone
this Super
to
Bowl?
see Lions-Bills. Yeah,
Didn't we just watch this
copium.
Super Bowl? What?
Everyone Commanders-Bills.
No, Lions.
That's not what I'm hearing. I don't know.
Well, I guess
from
different parts of
Eagles
the United
Chiefs.
States.
It's Eagles Chiefs.
Yeah, nobody's going to watch that corn shit. Eagles Chiefs is so annoying. Like, why so many times?
There are a couple other quick needle ones I want to mention that from this account. So David Williams during the WPT free roll was like, I'm sick of hearing about it. And Club WPT Gold said, "Hey, what table are you at?" Which I thought was pretty funny. And then the other one when Jason Christopher, the guy who drew the fake mystery bounty, the fake out, they literally tweeted at the time, "Congratulations to Jason Christopher for winning his buy-in back."
No, that one was good. That one was good.
This one I got one.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. Well, this one I was going to ask Kyna because this one was earlier this month. It was WPT Club WPT Gold saying, "What do you say?" So they're eliciting this because it was a question that I saw going around on social media that says, "If a guy takes me on a date and I pay for the food using reward points I get from playing poker, does it count as me paying for the date?"
Oh yeah, absolutely. I take people on dates all the time like that. I think it counts. Why wouldn't it count? It's still like not being like, oh, I think the point of it is providing like the date, right? Like it doesn't matter how you pay for it unless you're going to be like, can you pay for it? Like then, that's different. That's a different scenario. Yeah, I like that. Go ahead. Take me out with your comps.
Mike, what do you say? Does it count?
No way. That's
Why
a crazy
would that not count?
I don't know. Like, what is Alan Kessler taking you out?
Yes, sometimes.
Oh, yeah, you're right. That literally is. Oh, that's why you're saying that.
No, like I think that would be perfectly fine if somebody wanted to take me to dinner and they paid with their points. Like, who cares? It's still not me paying for it.
Oh, we're talking first date, right?
Like any date, why not?
If you're in an established relationship, you can take your significant other for comps. That counts as a date 100%. First date, you show up and you're like, nah, I'm going to use my rewards points.
I wouldn't care. I don't think I would not care one bit. Why would you care so much?
I'm not going to sleep with the woman who does that. If she paid with comps, I certainly wouldn't stoop to that level.
I guess you're,
she would never have a chance.
Be that picky about it. Yes. No. I mean, I don't understand why. Yeah, no. I don't understand anybody would say no, that's a big deal.
I don't know. It just seems like you're a denizen of the casino. You know what I mean? Like,
so be it.
Yeah. No, I guess.
It's still money. It's like rake back.
I mean,
hey girl, it's cool. It's rake back. We got this.
It is.
It's just a little rake back.
For what it's worth, I think it's
rewards
fine.
card.
I I don't see any issue with it. I think I've been on a date or two and used reward points as well. At least I know I've used them for like show tickets and things like that. So
I actually like to impress my friends with it. Like I'll be like, oh, I'm going to go get a comp. Okay. And like, come back and be like, yeah, I got a comp for dinner. And it feels good. It feels like you're like, you accomplished something, right? I know it's not good. And I'm a huge degen for being able to do that. But it's like, I got you. I got a comp.
I think it's different for women than men too. Like I think you don't think the majority of women would think if I took a woman for a first date to a casino and paid in comps?
I don't know what other women think. That's just what I would think. I know the world. I know what comps are, and I don't think that would be a problem for me to be taken out on a date and have somebody pay for comps. Now, I mean, it depends on where we're going. If we're like going to like Sbarro's Pizza because he has a comp for there, like that's a little different. Like, no, but if you want to go to like Gordon Ramsay at Paris and you take me and you pay with your comps, hey, yeah, that's awesome.
Do you have a bad date story, Kyna? Like one of those nightmarish date stories?
Oh my God, I probably have like thousands. I like actually did one time in Vegas, like take a guy to the casino and he was not about that world. And I had him meet me there and I did use a comp to pay for part of dinner. Like for part of it, I was like, well, I got a comp. And then he didn't bring any cash or anything. Yeah. So, and he didn't want to gamble and that's fine. But like, he didn't even have like dollars for tips. And that was like kind of embarrassing. I'm like, why would you show up at the casino and like have zero cash? I'm like, but okay, whatever. So, I mean, that's not like really nightmarish. It was just kind of like.
Was he not a casino person?
No, he wasn't at all.
Oh, so maybe he just wasn't aware that there would even be a situation where that could occur.
It's just like, you live in Vegas too. Like, I feel like you should have some dollars to tip with no matter where you go. At least it's like a tip economy here in Vegas, kind of, Yeah. Maybe it's just me though. I mean, that one wasn't so bad. I'm having one where I think about where like the guy was just kind of obnoxious to me and like just wanted to sound like he was better than me the whole time, like asking me what I did and then wanted to be like, oh, like if I go on a date with a guy and he asks me about poker, they like automatically want to be better at poker than me, like because I play poker, yeah, I bet I'm just as good and stuff, and that was like it, and it was like no thank you, no more, and then constantly texting me to hang out again anyway. I'm like no, you just go off and to the side and be better than me. It's okay.
So your nightmare date stories are didn't bring ones to tip?
I just can't think of anything off the top of my head.
I have thousands of stories.
I mean, I didn't have
ones to tip.
I probably could think of better ones, but like, I don't know. It's like some stuff's like hard to explain. And I can't think of a guy like nobody like kicked a puppy on a date with me ever. Like that would be like,
that shit would
nobody
be rough.
Like stabbed a homeless man on the street. Like, no, I didn't have anything like super crazy like that, but I don't know.
No, that's completely fair.
What about yours? Do you have any nightmare dates?
Not that I'm talking about on the air.
All right. Well, let me thank our sponsor for this episode of the Poker News Podcast, and that is the WSOP free-to-play app. I actually was playing right before we came on the air. I get on there almost every single day to do the Daily Blitz, which, of course, is you're presented with two hands and a board, and you have to quickly select which is the winning hand. Sounds very easy. It's actually quite challenging because there is a timer. I also like the video poker. They have the wild card there. Lots of other stuff. No Limit Hold'em, Pot Limit Omaha. This is free to play. You can download it on Android or an iPhone. Today, check out PokerNews.com for our review, and you can get started right now. Use bonus code PokerNews for $1 million in chips. We got to talk Scott Stewart. This man we talked about him not that long ago. He won the WPT World Championship back in December, and he took that down for, $2.5 million. Well, he is at the WSOP Thunder Valley last week, or he was at, and he won not one, but two gold rings, albeit, for $17,000 and $7,000 respectively. Still nice scores, but pale in comparison to that WPT. But I don't know. It was kind of cool for me to see Scott Stewart go from playing the WPT, winning one of the biggest tournaments of the year, 7-figure score, to grinding the $600 no limit hold'em, to grinding the $400 no limit hold'em at Thunder Valley. What did you guys think of your boy Stu?
Hey, good job, Stu. I don't know. I think Thunder Valley is a really fun stop too. I know. I think I've seen him when I've been there before, and he's a California guy, so he hits up all the California stops, and it's good to keep doing what you love, right? Like, I mean, you want to have a big score, so you still can do all those things that you like to do, and it's great to see him out there still raking it in. Good job, Stu.
Let's go, brother.
Mike, have you been to Thunder Valley before?
No, never.
Mike doesn't travel. He's such a hermit.
Man,
I have dogs. I can't travel.
Everybody has pets. We have pets. Some people have children.
I treat my dogs better than most people treat their children. 100%.
Get out there at some point. Like
I would love to. I just don't have anyone who can watch my doggies the whole time.
I have a pet sitter. I can refer to you. Or don't you have friends? You have buddies?
I have friends. Every time I travel, I do a routine thing. The whole thing is, I'm just going to be sketched the whole time. Like when I went to the Bahamas, the whole time I'm there, I'm just like, man, and of course I'm getting videos. They just sit at the door, just like waiting for me. So.
Can't Jeff Madsen just watch your dogs for you? He's your dog.
He's got his own. Oh shit, that's my dog. It's Jeff. Yeah, no, he can't. No, he has a cat, so he can't watch my dogs.
Well, you should try to check out Thunder Valley. It is actually one of my favorite stops, and WPT is going to go there. So here's a rub with that too. So PokerNews would work with the digital team that they just let go for, and not just PokerNews, other poker media organizations. The WPT would bring us to these various stops so that we could provide media content, write stories, and what have you. And Rolling Thunder was coming up, and I was thinking, all right, maybe I'm going to try to go back up there. I love Ben Irwin. I think he's nominated for Best Director of Poker at the Global Poker Awards. Just a first-class operation, and yeah, I guess I won't be going there for WPT, but maybe a Run Good Poker Series, maybe WSOP Circuit the next time they're in town. And Mike, you should definitely check it out.
Yeah, no, I'd love to. I always wanted to play a Run Good event too. I know I talked to Haley about doing some sort of like ambassador bounty thing, so that'd be cool to do.
Yeah,
I've done that.
Kind of, you've done it before, yeah.
Yeah, it's fun.
Well, one thing that Kyna and I will be doing this weekend, in fact, if you're listening or watching to this, we're probably there right now, is the MSPT is going to be at Potawatomi in Milwaukee. And they're following up. Last weekend, they were at Bally's Blackhawk, which is in Colorado, just outside Denver in the mountains. And I was reading the updates, and I was like, hold on here. Faraz Jaka is at the final table with the chip lead. And long story short, the founder and head of Jaka Coaching took it down for $127,000, 636 runners in that. And I don't know, the MSPT is more of a recreational tour, especially there in Blackhawk. But here you have one of the biggest poker pros in the world taking it down. What did you guys think of that?
That was awesome. I was actually getting updates too because my friends Angela Georgeson and Jackie Burkhart were there too, and they were sending updates about it. So I was following the updates on that one too. And Blackhawk is such a fun stop. I went there a couple years ago. Me and my friend Sarah, we hit that stop when I was chasing the Player of the Year, and it's at such if it's at the same casino, which I think it is. It was at such a like small little casino, but in Blackhawk there's like a lot of casinos, like a lot of small little ones that you can go to, and a couple big ones. One of them's a Caesars property, I think. One of them's a Ameristar. So yeah, I think it's a fun stop, and then to get there you have to like drive up the mountains. It's probably not the greatest time of year to go, but it's a pretty stop. It's fun. I would like to go there again. Actually, I found a really funny picture of me too, and I sent it to Sarah the other day, and I was like, this was in Blackhawk, right? I'll send it to you, Chad, if you want to throw it in. But it was, she's like, oh yeah, that was from there. So it was just for fun.
Yeah. Blackhawk is very picturesque. It's actually another one of my favorite stops. Again, Mike's never been there because Mike doesn't leave Las Vegas because he has dogs that nobody can watch.
He has dogs, yes. I don't travel because I have dogs.
Yeah, well, I just win all the money online, so fuck them.
Sure.
Another interesting aspect of this story was Jaka traveled there in part because he has some students there, right?
Yeah.
And he thought, all right, these are the sort of events that my students play. I want to get a feel for that, help me improve my business, my relations with them, which makes sense. So he not only wins the MSPT, one of his students, Kaushik Keenan, won the last side event of the series, I think on the same day. So just an all-around win for Jaka Coaching, which I thought was cool. And then I want to give a shout out to the MSPT. Very close to my heart, to yours, Kyna. You were the 2021 Player of the Year. You won the Canterbury stop. I used to work for the MSPT for 3 years. It's the tour I probably play the most. They hit a milestone a few weeks ago into the new year, the first stop of the new year. They crossed the 200 million mark in money awarded. This was, which I thought was just like, I've been watching it. They have it at the top of their website, and I was like, all right, this is going to get there soon. And when it does, I want to give them a shout out. I also want to give a shout out real quick to Gerald Cunniff out of Minnesota. He became the latest player to be inducted into the MSPT Hall of Fame, or not inducted. He won his way in. We talked about that, I think last week or the week before. So, all right, let me talk about this weekend, Kyna, what we're going to do. Right, I teased it. MSPT is coming to Potawatomi. We just talked about it before the show. You're flying in on Thursday night. I'm going to be there, and we're going to play all weekend.
Yeah, that would be fun. I'm gonna be there Thursday about midday, and I'm gonna just go over, visit some friends. Probably gonna go eat at the steakhouse, maybe play a satellite, and yeah, just kind of have a good weekend. Make a fun time out of it. Potawatomi, like we talked about before, they haven't had any tournaments since this. So this is their first big series. I think it might even be their first tournament. I don't know that they've had actual tournaments there. So yeah, looks fun. I saw the setup on Twitter. I'm excited. Come say hi to us if you see us there.
Mike's not going to be there because he has dogs, but do you know of anybody else who is going to be there?
Nothing to do with the fact that it's Milwaukee. It's just the fact that I have dogs.
Well, our Gold Pass winner, Danny Dombrowski, will be there with his wife, Missy, who are two of my very good friends, my Milwaukee friends, Milwaukee Danny and Missy. And then Angela Jordan said she would be there. I asked Josh. He's not going. He's going on vacation of some sort. So just a lot of our Midwest homies will be up there. So, you know, I can't imagine people that wouldn't be there during that are from that area, because it's probably going to start to rival the one at Battle Creek because it's so central. You know, you're going to get people from Iowa, you're going to get people from Indiana, maybe people from Michigan coming out for it. So
you're saying there's going to be a Battle Creek Potawatomi rivalry going on?
I mean, there are different times. I just think it's going like people go to Battle Creek because they have that $1 million guarantee, and it's like, again, it's so central. This one, I don't think the guarantee is that big. What's the guarantee, Chad? Is it $500K?
Yeah, it is 500.
It's interesting because I actually call my bathroom Battle Creek as well. It's weird.
All right, Mike.
Well, you know, the great irony is, and I could be incorrect, but I'm pretty sure that, so Potawatomi Casino is run by Native American tribe, Potawatomi tribe, but so is Battle Creek, but a different faction of the Potawatomi tribe.
Oh, so really they're just friends.
Yeah, they're just friends. They're not under the same umbrella. And you were referring to Josh Reichard, who WPT champ and likely the best player in Wisconsin. That's not hyperbole. I think if you took a poll, he would easily win. So it'll be easier for us, the fact that he's not there.
He's the second best player in Wisconsin.
I don't know.
I mean, I just moved back, so...
Chad.
That's definitely not me.
I texted Josh and I was like, thanks for leaving some money for us, as Mike would say. Stop taking all the money, Josh. Leave some for the rest of us.
No, I think Josh should continue taking all the money.
Just Jeremy Osmus.
Well, Jeremy Osmus is taking like millions of dollars. Like he's just like stripping the poker world.
Josh is taking millions of dollars too.
It's over a slower period.
Well, one player that will be there is a Wisconsin poker legend, Mark Kroon, a.k.a. Poker Ho. He was actually one of the OGs of online poker. Yeah, he was like an OG back in the ultimate bet days, if you will.
I've got a funny story with that. I actually met him, and we were talking at dinner, and it was like right after I won Player of the Year for the second time, and he was telling me about all his online exploits. He's like, he wouldn't understand. I was like, yeah.
He knew what he was talking about. Mike has dogs.
I actually met with Mark today. So he owns Players Bar in Madison, Wisconsin, which is a very famous bar in the Midwest because it was at least the poker bar. This is where Phil Hellmuth used to play before he won the 1989 World Series of Poker main event. Even after he won it, he still played there while he lived in Madison. Anybody who has lived in Wisconsin and played poker knows a Players Bar, has been there. Josh Reichard, I know, has been there. So I went down there. They have a Burger of the Week special. And I said, you know what, let me go there. Let me catch up with Mark. And I'm going to bring my camera. And I'm going to do a little segment for the podcast and talk to Mark about some of these stories and give people a little behind-the-scenes look at Players Bar. Check it out. All right, Chad Holloway here, Poker News Podcast. I'm in Madison, Wisconsin. It's a little windy, but we're here outside Players Bar. This is a very famous bar. This is where Phil Hellmuth Jr. used to play before he won the 1989 World Series of Poker main event. He's played here since, but this is where, if you're a poker player in Wisconsin, you've passed through here. It's owned by Mark Poker Ho Kroon. It's a good friend of mine, and I thought, you know what, the MSPT is coming back to Wisconsin, in Milwaukee, what better thing to do than go to Players, try their burger of the week, sit down with Mark, talk a little Wisconsin poker history, some Phil Hellmuth stories, and then, this weekend we'll go play that MSPT at Potawatomi in Milwaukee. But let's go inside, let's check it out, let's chat with Mark. All right, sitting here with Mark Kroon, better known as Poker Ho in the poker circles at your bar, Players Bar. This place is pretty famous for poker back in the day.
Back in the day, it was insane. Yeah, it was so much fun back in the days. Laptops up and down the bar, and we'd have cash games, tournaments, all sorts of stuff. And then the government decided maybe we shouldn't be doing that. So now we're just a normal bar and grill with the best burgers in town.
What's the history of Players Bar? Was it here before you took it over, and when did you take it?
Yeah. It's kind of funny because I joined the Army back in the early 80s. When I got out of the Army, I would come down here just because their burgers were so good. And that's when I ran into Hellmuth and all these guys, and they used to play in a little cash game right over there in the corner. And it was just a 1-2 game, and it was a bunch of college kids. And I would go out there, I'd go there, and sometimes I'd have to break it into a pinball machine just to get the money for a game. But it was a lot of fun back in the day, especially before Phil was Phil, and he was a genuine person. He still is, but he was very unique back in those days.
I know he's occasionally stopped in here, mingled with people. Are people really excited to get to see him here? Oh,
absolutely. I mean, when he's in town, he'll stop down. His parents only live a couple blocks away. They're great. His dad and mom are soul eaters. His parents helped us do the hospice center thing, where we just raised a lot. I mean, over the 4 years we did the hospice center, we probably raised $1 million. And thanks to his mom and dad, they really got involved and helped. And of course, Phil, and then he got all the other celebrities to come. And it was such a great time for here I am, this little fat bar owner, getting involved and raising money for such a good cause.
So what year did you take this over?
I took this over in about 90. Right after I got out of the Army, I took it over. And like I said, every Saturday there used to be a cash game in the back room for 10 years. And then the funny thing is that when we were sitting here one day and all of a sudden someone at the game said, Phil won the World Series of Poker. And we're like, Phil Hellmuth? And they go, yeah, he just won the World Series of Poker. And that's back before the internet. So everything was like a delayed news. And you didn't know. But one of his buddies said something to somebody else, and we all found out. And it was like, oh, my God, he's the world champion. And then we're like, well, if Phil can do it, obviously anyone can do it, right? So that's how the whole Madison poker area all said, well, if he can do it, anyone can do it, I think. And it was awesome.
And you did poker. You were an OG online guy. That's Poker Ho is your name.
Yeah, I was very fortunate. I did a thing in Vegas for March Madness with a bunch of guys, and we were downtown at the Four Queens, and I saw Phil, and he said, "There's a $500 tournament. You ought to get in this tournament and play. It'll be a lot of fun." And I did, and I won the tournament. The very first tournament I ever really played, I won, and I was just hooked from then on. It was really cool. Then I got onto online poker, got to meet Annie Duke, Phil, all the people, and then next thing you know, I became an online pro and got to travel the world playing poker. And it's like for a guy that really never studied, never did a lot of the things, I just fell into the greatest life ever.
And this bar has become synonymous with Wisconsin in poker because Phil was here. Anybody who's everybody in poker in Wisconsin is played here. I played here. Josh Reichert's come here.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And then, again, like we were talking, Gavin Smith, Annette would come here. Everybody that was anybody came here, and we played home games. Phil used to have a Christmas game, and it was like a who's who of poker. It was the worst game to get in because everybody was so good, but it was so much fun.
And so you were there during the poker boom days.
Absolutely.
When things were really kicking off, and that's about the time you were one of these online pros. You got to travel. Was it back then? Was it a struggle to balance poker life and the bar life, or were you doing one more than the other?
It was really hard. Being married and a dad and having having this opportunity that I knew I would never be able to pass up. And I can't even think of a country I haven't even been in. And I got to play for hundreds and thousands and millions of dollars. And again, here I am, this bar owner that steals quarters out of the machine to fund his online account, and you could win trips to anywhere in the world in your pajamas. And it was just such a great time. And I made so many good friends. Our online friendships are still with me today. And it's just unbelievable.
And what role does poker play now in your life? I know obviously you're not the online grinder or anything, but you still play.
I really wish I could get back to playing online. Again, I'm not saying I don't trust it. I just don't. It's not like it used to be, and it's not as attractive to me to travel. And I just don't play that much. I'll play at the World Series. I'll play at the MSPT coming up here. I definitely will play Aruba every year. But it's not my life like it was for 20 years. And back then it was every weekend. I know you did the same thing. You wake up on Sunday, you registered at Poker Series, you registered at Ultimate Bet, you registered at Full Tilt, and your day was done. And it was just a great way. I mean, you start the day, and the next thing you know, you got $50,000 in your account.
Tell me about Aruba. That's pretty famous in the Wisconsin poker circles too. What's the story behind Aruba?
Right. So Ultimate Bet started the Aruba Poker Classic, and back in the early days, it was a WPT event, and all the big names would be coming there. But when you're an upcoming poker player and you win your trip to Aruba online, next thing you know, all your friends want to do it too. And next thing you know, there'd be like 20 of us from Wisconsin all going to Aruba to play with Phil Hellmuth, Annie Duke, Antonio. I mean, you name it. It was a who's who. Phil Ivey. Everybody was there. And you got to play with all of them, and you got to play for $1 million. Very first year I was there, I got down to 12 people. And my table was Mike Matisow, Eric Lindgren, a moneymaker who just won the World Series of Poker was sitting to my left, John Jawanda, and it was like a who's who of poker. And there I am playing six-handed with all these guys, playing for $1 million for first place. And I'd never won $20,000 at that point. And that's the thing that really got us hooked, And then of course all the celebrities and everything like that would all come to Aruba because it was a great time. We get to hang out with Scott Ian from Anthrax, and Sully from Godsmack, Ben Affleck. All these people were there, and they were just regular people, all sitting there playing poker, laughing and joking, and playing volleyball in the pool and having a great time. It was something everybody looked forward to every single year.
Now, last question for you. I know we were both close with Gavin Smith, great Gavin Smith. You got a good Gavin story for us?
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is, as you know, the year before Gavin died, I won a bet with you on a Survivor thing, and we said, well, why don't we just bet for the tag team, and we'll play the tag team at the WSOP. And unfortunately, you lost, and I won. I said, well, why don't you, me, and Gavin play? That was back when you could have 4 players. And you said, all right, let's do that. So it was going to be you, me, and Gavin playing in the tag team event. And then, unfortunately, he passed away earlier the year. And so we didn't get to see him. But we had a lot of great stories, and most of them aren't fit for Poker News.
All right, so there you have it. Mark Pokerho Kroon, he'll be at the MSPT Potawatomi. If you're ever in Madison, Wisconsin, check out Players Bar. Let me know. I live in Madison now, in case you didn't know, hence why I'm not in the studio right now and hosting remotely. And I actually live not far from the bar, so I'll be happy to show people around. But I will be back in studio with you guys here in just a few weeks during the Global Poker Awards, and then, of course, all summer long during the World Series of Poker. Speaking of studios, the PokerGo studio hosted their PokerGo Tour Kickoff Series. So we just wrapped up with Jeremy Osmus winning the PokerGo Tour Player of the Year and then their championship event. Well, now it's a new season, and they kick it off with this Kickoff Series. There were some winners. I think at the last episode we talked about Andrew Lichtenberger winning the first of 5 events. Then we had Patrik Leonard, Masato Yakasawa, Worldwide Masato, Spencer Champlin, and then Kristen Foxen winning the final event of the Kickoff Series for almost 200K for, I believe, the second year in a row.
Mm-hmm.
I actually watched a lot of these streams. Did you guys happen to see any of it or pay attention to it on social media?
Yeah, I did. I watched a lot of the one that Pads won, and the one that Kristen won was on a Saturday. So I only watched I think I watched like an hour of it. So I didn't see the end.
Yeah, I watched most of them, yeah.
You did watch, Mike? Do you what is your grind? Like, you play online? Do you watch anything when you're doing it, or
no?
Like me, when I'm working, I watch Poker Go.
So it depends. Like, I go through cycles. There will be times where I'm like 3-tabling poker every day and playing a video game here. There's times where I'm 6-tabling and I'm just in the dungeon, just doing nothing else and really focusing. There's times where I don't give a shit. I'm on my phone. It really all depends. But for this, it's it's more study time. Those are good final tables to check out.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody there is pretty studied. So instead of doing the sims myself, I'll just let them all do the sims and I'll just copy whatever they do later on.
Oh, I watched the one that Spencer won too. I think he came back from quite a
deficit.
Yeah, he was the guy had him covered like 5-1 and he battled back. But I mean, they are turbo-y, so it's like, goes fast.
Well, he had like or less than 1 million chips, and he like doubled through Zamani, and then
Yeah, but when they were heads up, he had like 1.9, and the other guy had like 8 million or something.
Yeah, Spencer's just too smooth. He's just his bald head just looking right. He can't be beaten. It's just Baldy's
all those winners are now atop the Poker Go Tour leaderboard, as is Joao Samao, who I believe made 2 final tables, finished runner-up in one of them. I don't know the exact stats, but he's in 3rd place right now. Still early on, but it's a good start for these guys. Remember, they amass points in these Poker Go Tour events to qualify for the $1 million year-end championship. And Kristen Foxen right there on top. She had a great 2024 and kicking off 2025 in style. All right, we're about to wrap up this episode, but I did tease at the beginning there it's going to be a giveaway. Mike, Kyna, you know what we're giving away?
Love.
Respect.
Even better than both. We're giving away a book. That's valued,
That's way better than love and respect, obviously.
This book is valued at over $500, Mike.
Oh.
Now, if you had to put a price on love and respect.
Let's see it. Did you get it at the thrift store?
This is not a thrift store book. This is, and if those who watch or listen to last week's episode know that I did a interview with the creator of this, the author, Joris Dekkers of the Netherlands, created the Las Vegas book.
Oh, right.
This is a very, very high-end book. It is, like leather bound, velvet case. It's a $500 book. It's limited to 3,500 copies, and you can see a whole article. I'll link to it in the show notes. We're flashing some pictures of it now. You can go back and check out last week's episode. Well, Joris Dekkers was kind enough to give us a book to give away here on the podcast, and it's pretty simple. All you have to do is go to YouTube, right? So you got to be a YouTuber, at least watch YouTube, subscribe to both Poker News and the Las Vegas Book channel. I will link to this. There's an article up on Poker News as well. And then just comment book on the Poker News video that I have linked. And then comment Poker News on the trailer for the book. So there's like a movie trailer for the book. So 3 steps. A lot
of instructions.
Yeah.
Well, hey, this is a $500 book. We don't just, this can't be just a retweet thing. This is too big of a prize.
Instructions in the comments.
Subscribe to both Poker News and the Las Vegas Book, the YouTube channels. Very easy. And then there's a Poker News video on the Las Vegas Book. It's the interview that I did with Joris Dekkers. And just comment book. So I know that's why you're entering. And then go to the trailer of the book and comment Poker News. So it's a little crossover. You need to do 2 steps to make sure you're following the instructions.
Sounds Don't like worry. More than 2 steps to me, but who knows?
I know it's a lot for poker fans, but the good news is you have a lot of time because we're going to run this through the end of February. So you're going to hear more about this. I'm going to tweet it out. It's a lot easier than it probably sounded. But I think it's pretty cool.
It's just why I haven't won any giveaways. Like, I'm just thinking about, like, last night, the remote was a little too far away. I can't even go get that. I'm just going to go to bed on the couch. You know what I mean? Like, I wanted to watch some TV, but lost the battle. 3 steps. Too much.
Let me tell you a remote story just real quick. It's the most tilted I've been in years, and I'm not even joking. So, laying in bed, I am watching TV. I'm watching a movie. The remote is there somewhere, and long story short, it's just disappeared. It has disappeared. even though I'm 100% sure it was there. I've scoured the house because, okay, maybe I took it downstairs when I went to get a drink or something. I've looked everywhere and this thing isn't there. So I had to download an app on my phone that was trying to charge me $7 a week for this remote on my phone. And I said, fuck that. So I ordered one on Amazon for $10 and it's doing the trick, but it still tilts me to no end that I know this remote is here somewhere. Anyway, sorry, I had to vent to somebody.
Wait, you never found it?
No.
Now you have a new one and you'll probably find it.
No,
it's going to be one of those things like a year from now. It just randomly appears somewhere.
Well, I'll give you a little game here. My buddy John Dokler, he taught me this one. It's fantastic. What you do is on your remote, you tape it to a giant, what we do, because we're fucking morons, is we use a styrofoam, like a giant styrofoam stick, so that like literally it's a block of styrofoam with a little remote at the end of it. You're never going to lose it. You can use string or whatever you want to. I mean, we put like an air tag on it, but it's just like, now I got to go on an app and do this. This is much better. It never gets lost. It's impossible. It's a giant styrofoam block just sitting around.
That's a good idea because my remote is actually, I use like a Fire Stick, so my remote is like very small.
Same.
And like it always falls between the couch. And I got one of those couches that like you have to unhook. So I have to like literally get in there with like a stick and like a flashlight and like pry it out because I'm not going to take my whole couch apart.
Are we still talking about finding remotes?
I mean, this is a funny story. This is better than the dating stories.
Yeah. I actually, one of my dating stories I can't talk about was similar to what you just said. Anyway.
All right, well, let's wrap up this episode. As I mentioned, Kyna and I are both going to be at the MSPT Potawatomi this weekend as you're listening to this. So if you're there, shout us out. Come say hello. Kyna, I'm going to bring some gifts for us to give away.
Yay! T-shirts and patches. Anything
there you
else?
Go.
Is that what it was going to be? Did I ruin it?
Maybe some book thrift store books. Definitely not a $500 book. But
can you guys give me a PokerNews eye patch?
An eye patch?
You know what I'm saying.
I don't. What's an eye patch?
That's your phone.
It's not my phone. All right. Anyway, wrap it up.
I-15.
Somebody's phone is giving directions again.
Do us a favor, like, subscribe, give us that review, share with your friends. Thank you for the support. We are the Global Poker Award nominated for Podcast of the Year, PokerNews Podcast. We'll be back next week with a new episode. Until then, we'll keep a seat open for you.